Now, I wanted to know, did the name Murphy ring a bell? Because you actually acted with the actual Robocop, Mr. Peter Weller, in 1975's Broadway production of Summer Break. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I love Peter Weller. Peter Weller is one of the coolest guys you're ever going to meet, okay? Peter Weller, first of all, Peter Weller loved me because of my name, because he's like one of the world's greatest jazz fans, and he loves Miles Davis. So when I told him if my mother and my grandmother were both men, my name would be Miles Davis, because that was my grandmother's maiden name. He said, "You're in." I introduced Peter to Bob Marley. I drove him down to Washington for that play we did, and I had the early Bob Marley tapes, and he'd never heard reggae.
I thought it was like cold, like
no, not it.
I didn't know. I was saying, hey, you're the man.
No, I didn't introduce him personally. I never met Bob Marley, but I put this music on. He goes, "Whoa, what is this?" And I said, "This is a Jamaican style of music. This is Bob Marley." But he's a pretty slick dude. And also in the scene of New York actors in that era, he's like a couple of years older than I am. So I was like in the punk kid crew, but I'd see him and like Mark Metcalf at auditions, Sissy Spacek, and then you're talking about that continuum. There was an agent who later became a manager named Bill Tresh, who worked very closely with a casting woman named Marion Doherty. And it gets very incestuous. And we'd all kind of, casting directors have their actors that they like, and you'd see the same people. So I sort of had seen Peter Weller, and he played the straight guy in the play that we did. He was the square, and he's not a square at all. He's like, a real hipster. And then I see him occasionally, and he's sort of like, "Oh, so what are you up to now?" This kind of thing, very distant, very distant. But I had to break up a fight with him once.
Really?
It's absolutely true. Yeah, he came into our dressing room. I was sharing the dressing room, and he had some bone to pick with the guy, and he started like shaking him like this, and I had to pull him off this guy. And then like the next day, he came and he liked my aftershave. I had Bay Rum aftershave, so he used to shave and come in and say, "Can I have some of that hillbilly shit?" And I'd give him this Bay Rum, right? And then one day he had these bruises on his arm, and I say, "Wow, man, how did you get those bruises?" And he looked at me and he said, "You don't remember how I got these bruises?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Well, a certain guy grabbed my arm and pulled me off another certain guy." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forget."
Don't know my own strength.
No, you believe me. If you've ever broken up a fight, you don't know your own strength,
So let me get this straight. You've told Robin Williams to shut the fuck up, and you've saved the man from Robocop.
Man, I think you're the coolest guy.
I never thought of it that way, but these are true stories.